Order. Wade's not here today, so you guys get to deal with me, so bear with me, it's been a hot minute. First thing is approval of agenda. Any additions or deletions?
I'd like to add, looking at the agenda, a discussion on the crosswalks.
Okay, we'll put that at D3. Crosswalks, a discussion. Anything else? If not, I need a motion.
May I make a motion to approve the agenda additions as corrected.
Okay. It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hold on, let me remember how to do this real quick. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All right, motion carried. Consent items. If everyone can look at those, or if you have it, I guess. Go get it.
I'll move to accept the minutes from last month.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All right, motion carried. Public comments on non-agenda items. Nope. Okay, great. Going on to new business. D1. Sheriff Doug Adams. You're up.
Thank you, and looking ahead, I'll stay out of the camera here. Looking ahead, one of the topics I was going to bring up was on crosswalks, so we might just stick around. Just see if there's anything we can add input to or whatnot. So again, it's with the Sheriff's Office. I know Lieutenant Dale Rice attends a number of meetings. We try to get out. It's obviously can be something of a challenge with so many cities in the county, but we do want to make regular visits with myself and then Under Sheriff Tyler Garver over here. Just to chat, make sure you know our faces, and see if there's anything we can do for you or what we can do to help. Here in Westmoreland, this is kind of our hometown. This is where the Sheriff's Office is. We have a lot of great connections, a lot of familiar faces. Always a challenge because we have such a large geographic county in seeing everybody. One thing at the end of this year, when we do our 2026 stats, I'm hoping to be able to present each city with an idea from some new devices we have on the vehicles to show you how much time is spent in town and patrolling. There's a misconception sometimes that the Sheriff's Office, I'm getting questions right now with the Green Valley area, that questions in regards to, what can we do in town, what can we do outside of town. So Sheriff's Office, we enforce state laws across the whole county. Our jurisdiction is countywide. It doesn't end at a city limit, it's anything in Potawatomi County. Cities, their jurisdiction ends at the city limits, so the Wamego Police Department, St. Mary's Police Department. Most of the communities in our county do not have a police department. St. Mary's and Wamego are the only two with a 24/7 police department. So we patrol those areas, we take reports. Onega has officers out sometimes, St. George has officers out sometimes. We take reports, we work with them, we have a very good group of law enforcement officers and chiefs right now that we all work together. But the one thing we can't enforce in the city are city ordinances. Fireworks tend to be a common one, dogs being the other one. We have a animal nuisance ordinance in the county. It does not apply with any city limits. These are sometimes the challenges we face. We talk to our officers, we strive. I'll be honest, do they always listen or follow what we expect? No, sometimes they forget about it. But even if it's something we can't enforce, take fireworks, are very common. Around July 4th, a lot of times we get sent to calls. We can't write a ticket, we can't file a report with the prosecutor's office because we don't have any enforcement on a noise ordinance or fireworks. That doesn't mean we can't go talk to people and see if, hey, it's 11:45 on a Tuesday night, that may be enough for tonight, you know, are you guys willing to shut it down? That's what we try to strive and get into our officers, to try to help out, even if it's something we can't. We're not going to overstep our bounds, but a lot of it's just talking to people, and honestly, we tend to have pretty good luck with that. On the crosswalks, that was kind of a big topic I was going to bring up. So we know we have some not great areas here in town. Last year, we had met with Westie School, with Scott, with our SRO staff. We have 3 school resource officers. Christian Torres, who I think most of you probably know, lives here in town. Eric Coleman, who lives down towards Manhattan. And then Jessica Jack, who also lives here in town. She is a part-time officer, but most of the time she's working in the schools. I'm a former school resource officer. I find that to be an incredibly valuable program, and we will continue to push to find more resources to expand that program as we can. We worked with them, we worked with the school. They did some crossing guard type duties. We purchased some equipment so that they could do it. The problem is we're just not going to be able to be there 24/7 or every day. There's just no way. And if we did that, then we have that expectation throughout the rest of the county. But it's a problem, we recognize it. We have extra patrols out for it. So we're open to helping however we can, and options, ideas. I'm one of those that I certainly don't think we have all the answers or all the solutions. I'll tell you if it's something that maybe won't work, won't be feasible, but I'm open to trying anything when we have a problem and working with our community partners. So we're going to stick around for that discussion just to see if you guys have any questions or anything that we can answer. Yeah, so that's all I've got. Just if you ever have any concerns, I know Julie and Wade, they get a monthly email from me, just kind of recapping any calls we have specific to the city property. Don't ever hesitate to reach out, a concern, a question, anything we can do. We're at least going to try to find an answer or something that we can help you with. Okay, thank you.
Appreciate you guys.
I got one point I want to go back and correct on consent items. I only raised the motion to approve the minutes and not all the consent items. Correct?
Sure.
So
I paid really good attention.
So I'm back wheeling backwards here to make sure that we have the total agenda covered, huh? Well, I knew what you meant, but how it's recorded and stuff is only going to reflect the minutes. So if it's okay to go back and on section D consent items, I move to approve all consent items.
Moved and seconded to approve all consent items this time. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried.
Thank you.
Good catch. I missed it. D2 is Tyler Reese vacating utility easement, but I don't see him here. So I guess we'll skip that for now because I'm assuming he needs to be here, right? So we'll go to the crosswalk discussion.
How'd everybody's first day of school go?
Great.
Awesome. Right.
So much fun.
Yep. So obviously Bob repainted crosswalks like he does every year. Well, then I noticed after he repainted crosswalks that there were several that have been painted in the past that weren't done this year. And Bob can probably correct me. Some of these may not have been done last year. Is that correct?
It's been 3 or 4 years.
Yeah, okay, that's what I was like, I was pretty sure it's been a few years. So I had, I guess my first question is when or how did that get decided? So initially, almost every, what we would call a legal crosswalk, so where a sidewalk meets a road on both sides, essentially is kind of, and you guys might be able to know this better than me.
That's where the engineers and the architects are.
Kind of what a legal crosswalk is. So in the past, I mean, and I drove around last night just to look, I mean, it seems like pretty much from Highway 99 almost all the way to First Street on Main Street, almost every single intersection at one time had been, every single crosswalk had been painted, as well as on State Street, almost from 99 to First-ish. Some of them are very faded. Well, obviously this year, so Bob had just gone and painted, and he had painted just across Main Street, running north-south at 4th, 3rd, and 2nd, maybe? Did you go to 2nd Street? Yeah. And then on State Street, same thing, just going north-south at 3rd and 4th. Meaning there are no like painted crosswalks for anybody that would live east of 4th Street or west of 3rd Street. Now there are crosswalks there, and like I said, I'm not a expert on this at all. You know, I did a little research last night, but it's from what I kind of determined, whatever the manual for whatever they call it, the uniform traffic control that the state kind of adopts, is that says crosswalks should be marked at all intersections on established routes to a school where there is substantial conflict between motorists, bicyclists, student movements, or students would not otherwise recognize a proper place to cross. So that's one thing, and then there's several things in there, but it also says crosswalk markings shall be provided at legally established crosswalks, which, like I said, legally established crosswalk, from what I understand, is where a sidewalk meets a road, essentially. So what I would, I guess, how did it get away from doing that?
So we started getting more and more requests for crosswalks in town. And so.
Like a residential property,
residential
essentially, like people wanted their.
Technically, those are no different than ones that we painted. Yes, that most of everything got painted on this block and that one. At that point, Summer had got involved, and she had done her research, and she had recommended to the council that crosswalks can only be painted if there is substantial signage to show that there is a crosswalk there. So at that time, they decided that the ones that are marked now are the only ones that were going to get painted.
And like I said, did she determine that where the crosswalk signs are the only ones that can be painted, or the ones that
They
should be, that are required to be
They
painted?
can only, the council picked the busiest intersections, which those off Main Street and State Street.
Sure.
And her recommendation was that if we're going to paint crosswalks, there has to be signage to protect the city legally.
Sure. Okay.
Can we review that at all or go back to her? Because I agree, some of those side streets on Main Street still see a lot of traffic, and there's a lot of kids that cross on those roads. And personally, I'm nervous having my kids cross on some of those, even side streets, like to get across the pharmacy without me there. But
Yeah, obviously from, the pharmacy to the health department across 4th Street, as well as down on State Street going, across 4th Street, there's a ton of activity that goes, as well as on 3rd Street. Obviously, where all the school buses leave, when kids walk out that way, the only way that there is a legally painted crosswalk is to go north across State Street. So if you live, if you live that way, there's not a technically painted crosswalk, and I know painted crosswalks are more, yes, it's for traffic safety, but it's obviously more of a, hey, this is a painted route for kids to safely go. From what research I did, I can't find anything that actually says like, you can only paint crosswalks where the signs are. And like I said, I did 20 minutes research last night, so, in my opinion, in an ideal, perfect world, every single crosswalk in the town would have a painted thing, but that's not really necessary. But I guess my recommendation, or I guess what I would like to see, is essentially anything that has been painted in the past, meaning pretty much any intersection along Main Street and along State Street. I mean, right out here, like even right here, this right here is not painted, you know. Essentially from, what is this? This is First Street or Second Street? This is so from First Street to Highway 99 on Main and State. Like I said, I would like to see all of those. Obviously, at every intersection, you don't want all four sides painted. In my opinion, you need at least, I mean, 3, but most of the time you need to wait 2. So that is something that I would like to see. Obviously, I have kind of a front row seat to Main Street all day, every day. I mean, and I know for a fact there is about 15 kids that walk every day to and from school, and they cross from the pharmacy to the health department. And that's like 15 individual kids, so, you know.
I hope everybody trains their kids good enough not to just pop out there from behind all the parked cars.
Correct.
You can't see.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know.
And there has been instances where, you know, if I get to work early enough or if it's after school, you know, there's some kids that are so unsure of when to go that they there's a traffic jam because these kids are not sure when to go. So I would really like to see those get repainted, I guess. Like I said, I guess I would request that those, I guess if you have to purchase the signs to therefore paint them, I guess that would be my request, but I feel like you could probably paint them without having to purchase signs too. But
I talked to Bob about this, I saw him painting that day, I said, that's a bad way to go about it, so.
yeah,
Next year, we can get this figured out, which ones we want to paint, and I'm gonna make a motion to have it hired done next year, because that's Bob's heavy time of year. You know.
exactly, and that's what, I'm not trying, I know Bob's very busy enough, I mean,
Yeah, he's got,
and obviously
he's
if
got
you're
the pool
painting,
now too. so-
yeah, I mean, if you're painting, you know, 40 crosswalks, like,
Right.
it's gonna take a little bit of time, as well,
That
parking
needs-
stalls.
That needs to go out for bid next year.
Yeah.
We need to get somebody else in here to take care of that.
Yeah,
But, and I know that, like, you're talking next year, but I would really, if there's a way we could
do something.
do it this year, because, and also, like I said, after school, there's more kids than just the ones that walk to school. A lot of parents can't pick them up until 4 o'clock, so they will walk to the pharmacy and just hang out, you know. So, yeah, you-
No idea.
But, and I know that in the past, like we've talked, there's like, you know, there's been lots of talk about lights or crossing guards, and now that the crosswalks are painted less, I feel like it's kind of a step backwards, not necessarily in the right direction.
Well, I guess we need.
Where we obviously
ones
need to go.
be painted. I mean, you got kids coming from all over town, so where do you start and where do you stop?
I mean, there's only two completely through roads in town. Main Street and Camel Street. Well, Camel Street's so far away from school that there's what,
Right.
3 kids that live on the north side of Camel Street. So obviously, pretty much every single kid is gonna have to, at one point, cross State Street or cross Main Street. So obviously, I feel like those are the two, you know, biggest, I mean, obviously, that's where Bob was painting already.
I mean, what do you think about how many more need to be painted yet this year?
From First Street, all the way to 99.
Oh.
Main Street,
Going
State
this
Street.
way?
Yep.
Mainly?
So from here, all the
Yeah.
way to 99. Like I said, and that in my opinion is the best. I know that there are some of those that are probably not 100% needed, but I like that as well as State Street goes too. But that's my request.
From what I
You got
can
it,
see
you know.
on the map.
Is the intent of the crosswalks, Doug, to direct the children as to the most appropriate place to cross to get to school? If we had crosswalks on every street, then you've got 5, 6 avenues that kids are trying to cross Main Street. Whereas if they know these are
Funnel
the
to
2 main
2, 3,
things of
4.
crossing streets, and their parents tell them, this is where you cross to go to school.
So last year for July 4th in Wamego, I learned a valuable lesson. There are
Yep.
a ton of regulations related to traffic safety, signage, everything that we went through to add some very simple items to our 4th of July traffic plan. So the first thing I would say is speaking with somebody in the public works, engineering, whatever. I don't know if Nathan Bergman and Tim Eisenbarth can be of some help to at least maybe point the right direction as to where the exact regulations are. Funnily, like busiest intersections, a bit of maybe priority would make sense. I was just going to make a comment, reference the education side. That's a very critical part of this. Last year we did 2 classes, fall and spring, with students at Westy on pedestrian safety, because you can have as many crosswalks as you want. I would equate it to a son who's just starting to drive, and I'm constantly, okay, you're looking both ways when you pull out in a car. It's no different than crossing the street. You can tell them, but they have to do that. And so many kids, they're not thinking about it, they're just walking. God forbid, I hope they're not looking down at their phone. Adults do that, but we're trying to educate the kids so they know how important it is to do that. We think that's a critical part of the step, so I just was going to emphasize the comment made. But really with what's appropriate and all that, I would defer to an expert, because I did have some firsthand experience just a little bit into traffic regulations, and boy howdy do you have a lot of laws. If you think there are a lot of criminal laws, you got to look up traffic regulation type stuff and whatnot. So
I was trying last night, I tell you what.
I would not trust Chat GPT or anything like that.
Well,
but
and I just know from my own observations, I would not want a child crossing Main Street at 6th Street. No way. As fast as cars are traveling, as they're coming off 99 and heading westbound, or when they pass and get past the crosswalks, I mean, they are speeding up.
And as far as down there goes, I mean, I think in the past it looks like
I would encourage them that they would come up
the
all
only
the way on
the
the
only
west side
crosswalks.
or either side of Main Street till they get to the proper
And I
crosswalk.
think that's where you're asking for,
To
you're
go.
asking east and west?
Essentially, yeah. I mean,
Not
'cause-
necessarily.
East and west, not north
yeah,
and south.
because I mean, like I said, you can see that's where they have been painted in the past. Essentially, where the sidewalks are. Because if the sidewalks aren't,
Yeah.
you know, I mean.
And another question I have with Bob is, if we hired out, do they use a different type of paint? Like, I mean, you look at, highways and stuff like that, and that type of paint, it stays on there. And I know the paint that we're using,
The paint we're
it
using,
gets,
it's the most economical that I can do myself with not
Right.
having the cleanup of the equipment to get the traffic back open to
Okay.
all the above.
so if we hired it
I
out,
mean, you can go as expensive as you want.
okay.
It's
Then
something
maybe we
more
wouldn't have to
permanent,
paint
where
it
we
as
wouldn't-
often.
Yeah, where we could do it once every 5 years or whatever
Mhm.
until it fades. But,
Okay, something to consider.
yeah.
Yeah, and surely there was a plan, because the sidewalks, there are not sidewalks on both sides of every street.
Right.
So there was a plan on how kids were supposed to walk, like to the pool. There was a plan. So, but we don't have any crosswalks kind of showing that plan. Somewhere we have to have them east and west so they get to the pharmacy area to go, because that's where the sidewalk would be, to go to the pool too, or to ride your bike or whatever. So they're not doing it in the street. So there are somebody did some planning somewhere in the past. So we just probably need to look at that and see.
And then I did reach out to Sandy Anderson also, just because as I was going into this, obviously there's a school zone down there, so there are kind of the same thing. There's a lot of, like I said, there's a million instances where in a school zone things have to be painted, things don't have to be painted. And she said that it is kind of in the works. Like they've been talking with the school district about trying to figure out ways to get a little bit better signage. Because she said the same thing, they've had multiple assemblies, and so I did reach out to her as well, just to kind of get her input to see if this is something the city just doesn't have to foot the entire bill for, like I said, the school districts
Could
could
partner with.
obviously help out. 'Cause
Partner
this-
with the
Right.
school.
Exactly.
I did have a question about, so Main Street is a county street, correct? Are we responsible for putting crosswalks on the county street? Or would county, should,
That would have to be discussion with them.
Okay.
There apparently was some arrangement where they never were involved. It's always, I've been here 20
Okay.
years, we've always painted.
Okay.
So there must have been some agreement now.
I'm just curious if, yeah, if there's any, they should be responsible for that part or not.
That would only be the
Just-
south.
It would only be the north and south.
Yeah,
it
so-
wouldn't be the
And it would
east
only
and
be
west.
24 feet. They're not responsible for the parking areas, so they
Yes,
would only be,
yeah, the parking. Okay.
if that's what they technically are responsible
Okay.
to maintain.
I'm just seeing if there's any way we could cut costs, but.
My suggestion would be is you need to refer this back to Summer because she's the
Yeah.
one
Yeah.
that did the research and instructed the council how to do what we're doing now.
Yeah.
And we have a Safe Kids Coalition through the community, and they do help projects. We've helped, I mean, before, we helped St. George get some safe routes to school. We have done other things. So the health department is the lead agency for the Safe Kids Coalition. So there are grants out there to help with that kind of stuff. I sent Christian a grant. It's mainly about equity, though. I mean, it wouldn't pay for sidewalks and stuff, but it might pay for some signage and some things like that. Because when you look at our community, the housing that is, I would say, 200,000 and more are in a different place than where the housing is where $100,000 people, you know. So that is an equity issue. People are having to walk in different directions to get to their house. And so there could be something in there. So I know he was going to hopefully look into that.
Have we ever looked into or put bids out for like either signs in the middle of the road or lit, like signs that light up or anything like that?
So in February, I brought all this to the council because that got brought up before. So like the signs that go in the middle of the street that are on, they're $500 a piece.
500 a piece?
Yeah, and the council decided at that time they didn't want to.
One,
Technology.
again, kind of random suggestion or idea, and I know it's coming up on the technology grant thing. However feasible that grant comes up in the future, signage wise, again, if it was legal, the things that I've seen that seem to work the best under some of these circumstances are the ones, K-State kind of has them, but there are ones that are motion activated, so when people get close enough, they will light up. And it's what takes the place of having a child having to remember to hit a button or something. I would tell you, and this is what I tell anybody, that's probably a grant-funded item. They're ridiculously expensive, I'm sure, but there seems to be, when it comes to kids and safety, I'm not saying there's a grant right now that could be done, but there always do seem to be grants. And something like that that's a passive, doesn't require somebody to actively press a button to set it off, may be worthwhile for the particular situation, because you have the visibility issues. Those things I don't know that you're able to really change with cars on Main Street. It's just I don't know that I see a path, that's just me personally, to really make a huge impact there. So that would be something. But there are grants out there, a lot of different grants, a lot of different, and what Leslie was talking about with Safe Kids. If there are things I come across, certainly we'll pass them along and would help out however we can help out. But something along those lines, I think ends up being a grant-funded project, just to be honest. And I would say that to anybody.
So realistically, we need to do some more research with it, look into what needs to be done, what cost-wise, you said you kind of had an idea, depending on what the actual rules are.
If we follow what Summer told us we had to do, I counted roughly 15 crosswalks, and every crosswalk has to have 2 signs, and so every crosswalk would cost, depending on how the signs mount, if they're ground mounted or if they have to be physically mounted to the concrete, $500 to $600 per crosswalk per signage.
I think I would like to what I would like to do is reach out to Summer and get a clarification or ask her to review it again to see the signs truly are required to just paint the crosswalks, or if we would be okay to paint the crosswalks along the lane without the signage.
I think, and then, especially in the future, putting it out to bid potentially, depending on more permanent wise, that way, less work on Bob,
Yes.
more permanent.
So I think if we have that answer, we can then determine which crosswalks do we need to be painted, and then we could go out to bid.
So we'll put it on future agenda items.
Yeah.
Thank you. Anything else with the crosswalk discussion? We're done. We're done. Anything else with the crosswalk discussion? Awesome.
I don't think so.
It's fair.
I'm good.
We can at least get some ideas rolling and see what we need to do. Because I don't think anyone's against it. At least from what I can pick up, so. With that then, we will go on to old business, E1 KDOT technology program.
Got that thing just about done, and I get to the end of it, and it needs me to do, let me see that as a picture of it. Something that I'm gonna need Bob and Julie to help me with. You gotta put down dollar amounts and all this stuff, labor, and as soon as I get that done, and it takes like an Excel worksheet or something, which I don't have, which I could put numbers in anyway. That's all I got left to do is get that done, and I'm ready to send that off. But it doesn't need to be until October, and after they do those grants, if we do get one, we can't do anything until after July 1st next year, which will still be in time for school. So it'll be good if we can get, that's $25,000 grant.
Can we explain for the audience here what exactly that KDOT technology program is? Because some of them weren't here.
Well, it's for,
and what it
more
is
for
that
safe
we're applying
streets,
for.
like signage, and what we're pushing for is the radar activated signs on Main Street. And those I looked at maybe 35 to 4,000. So if we get a $25,000 grant, we're gonna have enough money left over to do some other stuff, so, if we get it.
Would it be possible, I don't know if you need to put this in the grant description, but to include crosswalk or, like something with that in the grant? I know some grants, you have to put your reason, and then if you use it for something other than the reason you put, it can get iffy. So I don't know if we'd be able to just add that in somewhere.
Can add that in the
Okay,
description.
that'd be awesome.
Help them with numbers.
Huh?
Bob said he'd help you with numbers.
Okay.
And those two probably.
I'll send that to you, Julie. I'll email that to you, send you a picture of which the link you need to go to pull that up, what we need to pull out.
These are some ones I really like. Cost of you.
Big word. All right, anything else on that? E2 is discussion on council compensation and compensation for workshops.
Did we want to change anything with that?
I have to do it today, the other day, I can't remember. We have to call them workshops, call them special meetings. Because she says even.
I don't know if you can count it as special meetings since we don't make decisions during workshops. I think that's probably the difference in a special meeting and a worshop.
And how many workshops do we have in a year?
I think that's the first workshop that I've actually ever done in the years.
And,
Is that right?
and just my 2 cents is
Oh, seriously? Yeah, no, thank you.
is for me, it's like, we're a small community. I'm not doing this for pay. I'm doing
I didn't even
this-
know we got paid when I first started.
I didn't think it either, so,
You want to know how it came up? Is because I keep a track of every meeting.
Oh.
And so when we had the workshop, I was like, do we?
yeah,
Yeah.
but the workshop was right before our regular meeting,
Mm-hmm.
so
You're there.
you're already there. And that's when I would say schedule workshops is either before or right after. And it's all in one. And the only thing difference with the workshop is you just can't make any kind of voting decisions and stuff. So,
I don't feel like, personally, I don't think we need more than what we get.
Yeah.
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 Non-compensated is what a workshop would be, right?
Yeah.
Right.
And even during meetings, like, I don't think there needs to be an increase at all, so.
Sounds good to me.
Do we need to vote on that, or we just make that
Do you
decision?
want to vote?
I will create an ordinance about council pay and then add this verbiage in there and then we can vote on that.
Cool.
Any other future agenda items?
Trash discussion, keep putting that on there because it was in the minutes of last month that it was a future agenda
Oh.
item. So this way we keep reminding ourselves,
That we need to.
so
go
that
throughout
we
the day?
need to keep reminding that the trash discussion, so we're not,
Do you want to put off whoa.
I have it as putting on the agenda in May.
Okay.
That's what I thought, we set a month that.
I couldn't remember what
We
month
just
that
set
was.
it a month
Yeah.
that we needed it.
So I have it in
Does
my.
that give
so
us
you
plenty
have
of
it
time?
documented for?
Yes.
Okay,
I set a reminder.
When does our contract end then?
Well,
August,
Next November.
now it's next November because we missed that
yeah.
90 days.
90-day period that we had to give them, so.
That's why I was asking to see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe keep printing it out.
So, hence why it's getting brought up now in May to make sure.
Yeah.
So,
And how much time on the crosswalks? Because people need to do research. Do you want it on next month?
I mean, I think we probably need to bring it up next
Yeah.
month regardless,
Yeah.
just to get an idea of things.
Yeah.
I agree.
So, I guess with that, we'll go down to reports, the treasurer's report.
Any questions on the report? All good? Okay. The only other thing I had is Blue Cross Blue Shield came to us about offering vision to the employees, and that's the worksheet I gave you. And it would be, so I asked Julie and Bob a little bit about it. It's, for the subscriber, it's $8.68 to offer that to the two of them, and I don't know if both of them will take it or not, but I don't know if that's something you guys would be interested in. I mean, Julie, they both looked over it, and she found it to be better than what she currently has, so.
I have like 2 or 3 plans already. Because we don't really have anything, so I
Oh.
wanted to join like others, so.
Would you,
I mean, yeah,
okay.
if you guys are offering, yes.
I mean, I think it's, I honestly did not realize we didn't, so, sorry.
It may not have been available.
It may not have, yeah.
Oh,
I don't know. Uniforming, so.
I mean, I feel like,
We may need to go out, because this is saying this is good till July of 2025. We'll be back into a quote for group.
That must be,
So I would see if they
we'll
have.
double check, but, because
Double check if
she's
they
got
have
getting back to
updated.
me on the 17th, so.
Okay.
But yeah, so that must be an old.
oh, that is,
Yeah, that doesn't make much sense.
That is,
Yeah.
I mean,
I
I'm
didn't either,
all for offering it to them. It's not,
as long as it's,
Mhm.
the current's the same.
so, I mean, if it's more than that, just let us know. 'Cause
Yes.
even then, that's not.
And it's a 48-month contract, which is 4 years.
Yeah, it would be 4 years.
48-month rate guarantee.
Yep.
Is subject to adjustment.
Yeah, just up to. It's a guarantee, but it is subject to adjustment. But if that were to happen, we would just, well,
Bring it
I
back.
guess, bring it back, but I guess if it's a
That's
4-year
a
contract.
But I think that if there's
If
adjustments,
they
they have
change
to come
it,
back
they
too.
can, I think they do too.
Okay.
I would verify
Looks
all
like there has
that.
to be a qualifying event.
Yeah,
Oh,
So,
it's fine, we can continue.
probably renews with health insurance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yep.
Why don't we reach out and
Confirm
give us
those
some
things.
time to really look this over
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
well, and if you reach out to her again,
Just make sure that's.
by the 17th and see if these are in fact
Yes.
current
Rates.
rates, and ask her if you guys are already under Blue Cross Blue Shield. And this is just an add-on for that, or whatever it is.
Because they don't.
Really ask specific questions about it.
Yeah.
And then if that's okay for you guys to wait a little bit longer, would that be okay?
Of course.
Okay. I want to read the fine print.
Yeah.
And then maybe just somewhere.
And I want to Google it myself.
I don't-
do.
I don't know. I probably
But-
never.
Like, I know when I renew the health side of it, she doesn't.
It usually is in October is your re-up, but this may be separate, ask
I
them
feel like
back
this
too.
is separate, but okay.
If, you know, when is the deadline, it can be at any time.
Yeah.
To sign up for it.
Okay. Yeah, I wanted to just get it in front of you guys and.
Yeah, for
Cool.
sure.
And it looks, on the surface, looks pretty good.
Yeah.
We don't mind that.
You do?
I think. Actually, I don't know.
Okay.
Okay, perfect. We'll discuss that again later.
Anything else?
Nope, that's it.
Bob?
Any questions about mine?
Looks like they sent out a bunch of letters first of the month, is that what that is?
For the mowing?
Attorney demand letter deadline.
Yeah, there's been a lot of mowing issues this month,
Why is the last three highlighted? Is that something?
because they are not finished yet. Those are actually code, vehicle or trash and delivery violations.
Okay.
Yeah, on that chart, those are, those violations. The first chart's all mowing. I have three that they're starting to be regulars that I have to mow at least every couple of weeks. So what happens is we mow it, we follow the ordinance, we mow it, we send them a bill, we give them 30 days to pay. If they don't pay it, then it goes to the county to go on their tax record.
The one up on the,
One up on the corner up there is,
Yeah.
and I've got one on State Street that's gonna probably be coming on. I have one at my house that's an empty lot that's
Is that,
gonna be regular.
contract out to mow those, so you don't have to?
You would, I mean, yeah, you guys would just have to, you'd have to change the ordinance. And then you guys would have to put it out to bid, so that would change, more than likely change what we charge.
That's true, because we have that, I forgot we have that scale. Okay, I was trying to take more
I'll
off
try
of
to put it
you.
off as long as I can, but when they,
Yeah,
it's one thing if they're not weeding around things, which we do, we still send letters because that's still against the
oh,
ordinance.
yeah,
But if it's a total yard, it's not being done. The one I mowed last week it was just all, this one grows about that tall all the time. So I've got at least 3 regulars now.
that's crazy.
I had a work order for a ditch repair, and Michelle's kind of been keeping an eye on it, took some video. The problem with that is that I don't know that we have the easement to be in there working. So if we do anything further to do anything with this work order, we would have to have the property surveyed to make sure we're staying off the property. Because the property lines it's in an alley, so we don't have a whole lot of any work to begin with. The complaint was that the ditch is overflowing and flooding the yard. Michelle took video of the last time, it's very minimal.
Very minimal. And the rains
And
were,
at some point, there's only so much we can do anywhere in town.
the rains were just that downpour. I mean, I had standing water in my yard, you know, but it dries up just like that. I mean, the ground was so wet.
There's nowhere in town that was designed to handle those kind of rains.
Yeah.
I mean,
The care home took on more water than anybody.
We've discussed
Their
this,
whole parking lot
we've
was
discussed this
flooded.
over the years, we'd have to have 8-foot ditches
Yeah.
and, so.
yeah, we got a river over at our place.
That comes from
Yeah.
us.
And you got the
Done by a kayak.
sewer connections and things, if you start digging too deep,
Yeah.
trenching out, you could create more of an issue.
Basically, without worker, I can't proceed to do anything unless you guys authorize to have the property surveyed to make sure we're not getting on someone's property.
Is it anything we need to do?
Hmm?
Is it anything that he needs to do? Or is it just?
If anything, you could build the berm up higher. That's one thing I thought.
I don't know that it's on the.
Oh, you're
It's
saying,
on the
yeah,
easement.
yeah.
It
Okay,
could
I got you.
be-
I'm following.
It could
Sorry.
be her property then, for her berm.
You know, and we can't be getting on someone else's property,
So realistically, if it's an issue, she can have it surveyed and figure out whose property it
Has
is?
there been an official complaint made?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then another issue with that is that at the end of her property, all our easements stop. We can't control what happens any further, so I can do all the work I wanted to there. If it's being dammed up below that, there's nothing the city can get involved in, because we have underground utility easement, but we do not have above ground drainage easement.
I guess until there's one maybe we don't need to get it surveyed.
I was just presenting it to you because there's nothing I can do on my own, so.
Right.
so.
Do we know if there is an easement and we just don't know where the easement ends, like the lines, or?
There's a 20-foot alley easement,
Oh, okay.
and then it's paved alley going through this easement, so.
Okay.
We have minimal area to work in to deal with this, to do any work.
So is there a possibility the easement would show that the ditch belongs to the property owner?
It very could possibly, yeah.
And that's what we would need to survey for, to know exactly where that line is.
Yep.
And what does the survey cost?
You're probably looking anywhere from 1,200 to 2,000.
Do we have any existing property maps of the city that show?
We do, but they're not accurate. Nothing that I would say.
What would they charge just to go out there and see if they can find the pins? To that side, just to that side?
1,200 to 2,000.
Just to find two
Yeah,
pins?
they gotta do the research at the courthouse to find them,
Yeah.
and they gotta double check their work, and then they gotta go and research, they gotta go find other pins to double check those pins are correct.
Okay.
So it's not a simple deal. It'd be the same as like what we did at the fire station, we went and find two pins, and that's what it cost.
I'd say I'd leave it up to landowner to get surveyed. If they want something done, they need to show us where the property line is. That shouldn't be on the city.
We're going back to things that the city did that, back in the days, that there was
Yeah.
agreements made and things that were done that we can't do no more.
There's
So-
no in
Right.
writing there. so-
Right.
But I still think if she wants something done, she needs to prove her property line herself, or whoever owns this, and then see if it's anything that it's our problem. I mean, we shouldn't have to go survey her property for her. Am I saying her? I don't know, I'm saying her, I don't know who we're talking about.
Them.
Them, yeah, property owner, period.
Yeah. Okay.
I put information on Fulton Street, things like that, so the only thing missing out of that would be, again, the survey for that, and we're looking at $1,200 to $2,000 to find the property lines to make sure that we're our boundaries of that street easement.
So would that 1,200, 2,000 include all four of those properties then?
Yeah.
So,
Is that where we were gonna put a road?
Fulton Road, continue it on up.
Because there was one there?
There is one, it just never was put in.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Is it, I got second thoughts about that. Is it really feasible to do that? How often is it gonna be used for, what we're putting it in there for?
I was just presenting it to you
I know,
because
I know.
it was brought up to me.
But now we got crosswalks, and I'd still like to see some more streets get asphalted. I hate to spend money on stuff like that if we can get some more
What's
streets.
the danger of somebody building across that area there? They can.
I was gonna say they
Stop.
can't.
They can't.
Well, then they get something, and we get after them, and they gotta tear it down. I mean,
Yeah.
they gotta put it into the building permit.
It would never get past the building permit.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's something we can wait on at least for right now until.
Yep, I just brought it to
Right.
council because it was brought to me.
Right,
But I
absolutely.
think at some time, it would be good to have a thorough street there if you need emergency response or something to get from,
Mhm.
because there are some streets that you just like, oh, that's dead end, and,
Mhm.
then you gotta backtrack or whatever, so. But keep it on.
Also in my packet was the drone ordinance that we sent to Summer for Summer's approval. So that was in there for you guys to, she's overlooked it, approved everything. So that
So
was,
this is new, this wasn't existing?
we've never had anything.
Okay.
legal side at the end of it. Yeah, it's a little lengthy.
And this relates as to taking on and off of city property
Or anywhere in the city limits.
or anywhere within the city limits. Okay.
So anytime they want to use a drone within city limits, they would need to fill out a new,
Unless they're on their own property.
They're taking off of their own property.
okay, so it's okay if they're taking off on their own property, but anywhere else they would need, because it just says, number 8, this is a one-time use application.
Yes, every time. That's what Summer recommended.
Oh,
Or they could have multiples as long as it's not longer than 4 hours.
Yeah.
So they could take off from one location to whatever filming, and they have to say what filming or.
It's basically a one-day.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
You would not have to have it if you're doing any flying on your own property. It would just be if you're flying over anyone else's property or in city, or anywhere within the city limits or on city property.
no, go through your application for us.
It
looks
I
like-
left it open. I gave several choices myself or something.
Or city
Or
council.
city
Yeah.
council, so yes.
Okay, just making sure.
A lot of things we have is limited, but if it's needing to be done fast, then we're like that.
Yeah, for sure.
They gave another option.
Any thoughts? Anybody? No. Does it look good? Something you want a motion for?
Also move to adopt ordinance 630.
When she gonna fix something? Didn't she just say Summer was gonna change something?
I think she did.
She
Oh, she did, okay.
It was sent to her and she had changes she made it on the.
I misunderstood that. She still had changes to make, okay.
She was fine. She looked at the application and she looked at the ordinance.
Gotcha.
So, again, I make a motion to pass ordinance 630 on the innovative and safe uses of unmanned aircraft while addressing concerns about accountability within the city limits of the city of Westmoreland.
Second.
All right, it's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? All right, motion carried.
And also in my packet, you've seen the information from Pittsburgh Tanks, who does our tank maintenance on the water storage tank. So if you've read my reports, you've seen multiple times around here, we have some seeps where the panels are expanding and contracting with the weather, usually more so in the winter, but I've noticed it starting to do a little more in the summer now. Basically, the best option for us would be the $66,000 option, which is where they come in and we drain the tank and we would spray. They would spray all the seams of the tank with this material on the inside.
I thought that looked like the best
They would
option.
spray the floor, they would do all the seams on the inside, and that should,
Because like you said before, they were using a diver to
we were
try
using,
and weld.
we were doing a diver.
Underwater.
We were doing a diver and doing epoxy patches. And where these seeps are, I believe they're also where we're leaking again from these. And so what happened was is this company that I was using, which we've used since the tank was in session, got bought out by Pittsburgh Tanks. So we're under contract for them for all our maintenance. We had some divers that were killed. And so basically the whole idea of putting divers in a tank, so you don't have to shut the tank down, has kind of gone away because of the safety issues. So they're more leaning back to where there's very few to no companies that do that type work anymore. So, yeah, so they do the fixes live.
Okay. Oh.
Is this something you get done yet this year?
I don't know.
I mean,
It's
usually they're
gonna-
pretty far out. on the
Yeah,
thing.
I'm scheduled to have a ROV inspection, which is mandatory by KDHE, and they haven't scheduled that yet, but this is gonna have to be something that's gonna have to be done during the summer or spring.
So we don't have a choice to not do it.
Did they say how long,
That's what I'm.
how long it will be with the
We would
city?
be down, several days, so we would have to bring in a pressure tank. We would have no fire protection, we would have no, we would be able to set up to where we would be able to control the pressure of town, so everyone would still have water. We would basically have no storage of water while this is going on.
Okay.
So we
And
would have to be.
then nothing for fire?
Nothing for fire.
So we have to coordinate with the fire
We'd
department
have to talk to
to
the
make
fire
sure.
department, talk to the county. There is an option to go to, I haven't done a whole lot yet because I don't know what you guys want to do, but there is options with, Kansas Rural Water has some bladder tanks that they can be brought in that can give us minimal amount, of
Okay.
storage, very minimum. But yes, the large storage tank would be out of service until it's done.
Well, that's pretty big. And this will give
Is there a guarantee?
There's a 7-year.
7 years.
7 year?
You said option 2.
Yeah.
Right.
I think so.
Middle of the road one?
Oh, I see. 7 years. Sorry.
That when this tank was purchased, they didn't, it was supposed to be the greatest thing, 50-year warranty on the glass line panels, but the seams are not warranted. And they didn't tell us that, which these seams are going to contract after, it was 2009 when it was installed, so almost 20 years. So what's happening now is those panels are contracting and it's just a caulking in between, basically, like bolted together.
And how wide on outside each seam, since they're just doing the seams?
It would be similar to that.
This wide?
Yeah, they cut some off of it, so they didn't send it, so it would be enough to cover the seams.
So the seam, do they go up and down like this, or do
They go both ways.
Both
They're 4x6 panels, I believe.
Make a motion to go with option 2 from the Pittsburgh Tank Tower Group
I'll second
for
it.
$66,705.
I'll second.
All right, it's been moved and seconded. Do we have the money for it?
That's my next question, like, was maybe wanted to come out of that.
Do we want to add that to the motion or do the motion first?
We have some backup funds. Like at the end of last year, we paid off a lot of bills.
We did.
So,
Yeah.
unless, I guess it's up to Amy, but, if we see that we're kind of following the same track, we do have we haven't paid for the excavator yet, but that was coming kind of a whole different fund, so it was already,
They haven't finalized the budget yet, have they?
Not
I mean,
officially.
we've talked about it, but I don't think,
that will be next year, so it could be coming out of next year's too.
I don't think they're gonna.
Well, that's what I
be
wasn't
there
sure.
this year.
I don't think so either, but, so it'll be next year, so there's, we may be able to allocate some money from this year
And next year,
into the, because we now have a.
like
as long as you
encumber it
can-
or whatever.
As long as you guys continue, we have a maintenance equipment fund.
Yep, yes.
So we can maybe move money into that, because we spent probably about that much just paying off bills,
Yeah,
odd bills last year.
yeah. So I can ask Alex.
I was gonna say, can you talk to them, see if they can move some money around for this for next year?
And we kind of got to get locked in because that bid was only good for
Yeah.
60 days.
And I think getting this water tower repaired is
Utilities
a priority.
is over everything else.
I'd say if you can get them locked in for their first chance next spring to get it done.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's been moved and seconded, wow. Go with option 2. Any other discussion? We're gonna look into the funding. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? All right, motion carried.
Going back to Tyler Reese's, just some explanation on that. We really should be here to kind of explain it, but basically the way church purchased 4 lots in the industrial park, and in the middle of that industrial park is a cul-de-sac. And so they want to vacate that so they can have 4 full lots and do whatever they want, a little better on those lots.
And they also want to vacate the city right away and out on the website.
No, they won't be able to vacate those.
I was
Those
gonna
are
say,
utilities.
Those were highlighted on your maps.
Yeah.
Those are utility easements that have
I was
utilities.
gonna say, we can't do that, you can give them a variance. but
The
you
only,
can't
the only
shut
thing,
them down.
the only thing you can vacate is the existing cul-de-sac that was
Right.
put in.
So just the green part?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
I guess the only thing that, it's up to you guys, but we could push that to summer. It has to go to summer anyways to start the
Yeah.
process.
Do that.
That's a hearing, isn't it?
It has to be, have a hearing and all of
And all
that, so we
that.
couldn't make a decision
No,
tonight
no,
anyway
but
on
we
it.
can push the information to summer for her, because she's got it, it's all hers, so.
I mean,
And they filed a,
It's not a
does
plan.
this letter constitute their
It
petition?
could, yes. It's not a planning and zoning.
Because my thing is I'd be interested to know, like, where then, if they're wanting to combine all these lots, which is a replatting, correct?
If they replat, it will have to go to planning and zoning.
Right.
But I don't, from my understanding, they were not wanting to replat the lots, they were just wanting to remove the cul-de-sac and put those, and make 4 full lots.
So where would the, one of my questions would be, there's an easement, there's already a road established there.
Yes.
Where else, what are the restrictions like on Oregon Trail? Since you've got the fire EMS here coming on to Oregon Trail, and you've got Dollar General, would they still be using the same road?
They,
that's
from my
coming up
knowledge, they would be exiting off 6th Street.
Off 6th Street, using that same,
Yeah. They would, basically they were just removing that proposed street off those lots and recreating 4 lots again.
which then would be their responsibility, not ours,
Yes.
as a street, correct?
Yes, basically there would be no street, it would just be.
Sure.
a parking lot.
I don't know what their plans, I mean, I think they have a plan what they want to do, but, I don't know where they're going to put the building or the parking lot or the playground or anything like that.
So that's just a planned street, that's not a real street?
It was platted, it is real, it's
Oh.
platted street by the bank, that is a real plat.
Okay.
So-
Is it paved?
No, it's
Or
not,
does it
it's
exist?
just never been established.
Physically
It's-
doesn't
it's-
exist?
It doesn't physically
No, okay.
exist, but legally.
It's like
legally,
Fulton Street.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just like Fulton.
Okay.
Legally, it's there, but it's not.
Okay,
So
okay.
Legally, yes, physically, no.
They
So
just
they don't
want,
have to do any work to remove it,
No.
it's
Got
just
it.
the legal?
they just want to gain that,
Okay.
they want to gain that, and make that part of
Yeah,
the property.
so that
Since
makes
It
sense.
doesn't fit the characteristics of what those lots are for now.
Yes, yeah. Yeah, I agree.
It's probably not a bad idea to push it to summer then.
No,
Whatever gets
yeah.
started. I
Does
don't
that
think
make a
anyone's
motion?
really against
Or do we just-
I would say if I could have a motion that I could send this information this summer.
I motion that we send this information to Summer to review.
Second. All right, it's been moved and seconded for Bob to send the information to Summer for review. Any discussion on that? All in favor?
Hi.
Motion carried. And then you said that would go in front of the hearing. Start that
That would
process.
all come, if you guys remember when we dealt with that with the, on Walnut Street where they needed an easement for their house when they were expanding their house after the tornado, it'd be the same process. So it's all through you guys in the summer, so it pretty much ends it. We'll be hearing for the public to come to any issues.
What else you got, Bob?
I believe that's all I have. That was quite a bit for a while.
All right, clerk's report.
Okay, first off, I was going to ask if there will be a citywide cleanup for the fall. It looked like it was in September last year. Is that something we're interested in?
We've done 2 of those a year?
We didn't do it in the spring.
Oh, we did?
We, speaking with Wade, we kind of held back. A lot of schools getting tornado stuff that were not necessary, that's not necessarily what this was designed for. So,
Even then, I feel like last time it was pretty abused, wasn't it?
it's gotten pretty bad here lately, or it had been.
That's what I struggle with.
It's, I mean, it's what you guys want it to be, but it's morphed into what it wasn't supposed to be.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've been here since we've done one of these. What was
It
the original
it-
purpose of
The
this?
initial purpose was to the outside of the properties for people
Clean
that
up
have
the yards.
clutter in the yards that just can't afford to get rid of it, or don't want to get rid of it, is giving them an option. What it morphed into was people started cleaning out the inside of their houses.
So
And
they put stuff at the end of their lot and then we come by and pick it up? Or
we
what?
bring a dumpster to
Oh, and then
to the
they
city
go-
shop, and then they would bring it to us. In the beginning stages of it, we would come to them and pick it all up. The fire station did a lot of work on that, but
Yeah.
then they got fed up because they felt like they were being used.
Yeah.
Because they were seeing it was being abused also, so they said they weren't doing it no more.
Yeah.
So then we morphed into bringing in dumpsters and put them in a central down to shop, and people would bring stuff there. But it's morphed into people cleaning out their houses, and so kind of,
I would put a specification on it that says no mattresses, no sofas, no recliners. You know, it's gotta be yard trash.
External.
You know, brush will go to the brush pile, but if they've got, you know,
because we
no
don't,
tires,
yeah, we limited it for stuff like that, tires, paint, oil,
yeah.
stuff like that.
Thank you.
But I would throw in sofas, mattresses.
That's the problem was, we were doing some of those surfaces and mattresses, and you can't smash those things very well.
Right.
To a point.
And it would just fill up.
Mhm.
The things would be done and Bob had to close up by midday.
I always go through Target.
So what would be put in there usually? Like that would qualify?
Oh, let's say they've got old fencing around,
Oh, okay.
you know,
Just
like
yeah, yeah.
picket fencing or something in their yard that,
We would
you know.
we would do a bin for trash, and then we would do a metal. I would typically do one for metal, and so we'd have one for metal. So we'd separate a little bit, and
Like
a few years we were
outdoor
getting,
tables, outdoor-
a few years we were getting a kickback for the recycling part of it, but I kind of get away, because it's too much, it's not, you get so much, every metal, this costs so much, so it really didn't work. But we'd still do if we do a separate metal one, that helps on our cost of what can be taken to the construction landfill, and they can kind of separate that out of there a little better.
I don't know, I'm thinking if you guys gotta get that picky about it, it's not really worth having.
Well, that's the frustration of everybody just taking
Yeah.
advantage of it
Yeah.
and not taking advantage, but just abusing it is the frustration, and that's not fair on anybody, because I'm pretty sure the last time it was like full before noon.
Yeah, and so I think last year, I try to judge it what I had last year. Well, like last year, I had 3 dumpsters, I only filled 2. So, if we ordered the dumpster, we still pay for it no matter what. So, this year, or the last time we did it, I don't remember, I know we skipped last fall, I guess maybe. I did 2, well, those were full in no time, but if you were down there with me, you would see and I've told Julie, I've told the mayor, I think I told you guys, it's gotten out of hand, it got out of where it's supposed to be. But if you guys are fine with that, then we'll just continue it, but I also see the slack of people upset because, it's closed. We advertise, we're open until it's full, and I don't, that might only take 5 minutes.
Yeah.
yeah.
Do we have anyone monitoring it?
I am there the whole time. That's the only way.
Bob.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the only way.
Julie was there one time.
That's the only way it can be done, or else
Okay.
it way gets out of control.
Yeah, yeah.
I know it's like St. George, they just set
I
dumpsters out there,
just saw
and
that.
they just, no one monitors it, and that's just asking for trouble.
And they got overflow.
Yeah.
It's just a mess, so yeah, someone has to be there,
Yeah.
so, yeah, I'm always there. And they're behind gates, so once they're full, no one else can get back in, so. So, if you guys want to continue to do it with more restrictions, I'm fine with that.
And what does it cost on average?
A year ago, so it's probably now.
We're probably in the $5,000 to $6,000 range.
That'd do a lot of crosswalks.
I mean, we could potentially put it off till spring.
Our
Like,
our transfer station's not that far away.
No.
And they do quite a few free dump days.
Yeah.
I don't, maybe let's think about potentially doing a spring, see how things go. We just have a lot of other stuff right now that we want to get done. Maybe we put this off and then bring it back up. So maybe potentially put it on for a spring thing.
Put it in January.
Can you put that in the January agenda, please?
Just a reminder, the R&R and budget hearing is September 10th at 6:30. And
That meeting?
September 10th, that's our next meeting.
Oh, for next meeting.
And workshop came up for COMA and CORA. COMA is Kansas Open Meetings Act, and CORA is Kansas Open Records Act. And I was wondering if Amy and I could attend this workshop. It's in Leawood. It's on a Wednesday from 10 to 2, and it's $150 per person. I feel like it would be very
Yeah, that's
beneficial for us.
Something you gotta stay on top of.
Oh,
Yes.
and then maybe give us a little,
Rundown.
They
Rundown
have,
as a reminder.
we get a free pamphlet, free booklet
Okay.
as well. So,
Make a motion to send both of them for 150 apiece. So whatever she just said.
Coma and
Coma and something else.
I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded to send both Amy, do you want to go in? Did she just make you go?
Yeah.
I
did. I was like-
The Cora and
Everything's
Cora
new to me, so.
meeting, any discussion on that? You said 150 each, so $300.
Yeah.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? All right, motion carried.
thank you. It is August 26th.
That's on Wednesday, that works out this year.
It was perfect. That's all I got.
Sweet. Streets? Ruth?
Crosswalks.
Got it. We're working on it.
Bob, you gonna get some more rock to that ditch, or do you think you just good enough the way it is?
So I went further than what I had anticipated going.
Oh, you did?
I just want to take care of the areas I couldn't maintain. No, I know Wade spoke to me, he would like to finish it. So
Wade said that?
Yes. So he had me price that it's roughly going to be around $4,000 to continue on to finish it.
Yeah, I think it'd look good.
It does look nice with it.
I wanted to get to a point where I could maintain better with,
Right.
was untainable and was washing out.
It would look better and also help with washing out if you just finished it. We need to make a motion on that, it's $4,000.
I would say if we're gonna do it, I would give me 4,500, 5,000 tops.
Make a motion to spend 5,000, up to 5,000, finish rocking our ditch in our corner lot at Lush and Walnut.
Second.
Been moved and seconded to spend up to $5,000 to finish rocking the ditch. That's real.
Rocking the ditch.
Rocking the ditch. Any discussion on that?
I'd say, I call it the west entrance property.
I don't know, rocking the ditch sounds way more fun.
Just so back, someone goes back and want to know.
What did you say?
What ditch we're
West
rocking.
entrance.
West entrance property.
Did I say any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? All right, motion carried.
That's all I got.
So what will probably happen is I will order the rock and they'll deliver when they can, and so the rock pile may sit for a while before I can get to it. But
Yeah.
I had just gotten over almost a daily question of what's the rock pile or what's the rock pile for? So it'll probably sit for a bit once it's delivered.
Make a big sign that says, this rock goes in that ditch.
This is for rocking the ditch. Awesome. Utilities, Megan.
I don't have anything extra.
Wonderful.
So I do have something.
Okay.
So this month I've had, so KDHE, you see in my reports, I have to do all the water samples, so a lot of them are homeowner based. So this year I had nothing but issues. I had, every 2 years we do lead and copper samples. So there's 10, we have to take 10 samples, and the homeowner has to take the samples at their house. But what happens is the water has to sit for 6 hours before they can take the samples, and no one using it. So I'm getting to a point where no one wants to do any of this for me, and I can't do it. So if we can offer some sort of discount, $10 discount on their water bill, that would help.
Is it certain ones?
Yes, yes, I don't have no choice where I pick. I have different tiers.
I was gonna say, gives me a water.
It's predetermined right now, because if you guys had to see what I have to follow, it's a mess, but it's predetermined by KDHE, the sites, and so I have to go down and And so like this time I had 5 people who refused to respond to the stuff I sat at their door. And so then I have to go to KDHE and then I have to get reassigned new addresses and have them approved. In the meantime, all this has to be done in a couple months time period. So, and so I waited because everyone was on vacation. That's between July and the end of September. So I've got, and so, and also my monthly ones, some of those I have issues with. In the future we can, some that can help me out to get these, so I can get these samples done. Problem is KDHE
You
puts
have to do this every year? with the
every
same
2 years with the lead and copper.
Homes.
Yes.
So you need us to potentially,
Look at some sort of, something to help to get to incentive for these homeowners to respond to these. And
do you need it like now, or
no,
can we look
no,
into?
No, it's something in the future.
Okay,
You know.
I'm good with.
You say that water has to sit for,
The water in their pipes in their house has to sit for 6 hours before they can take the sample. So it's like the first thing they get up or when they get home. So they get a baggie, they get a sample. They get a whole list of instructions, and like I said, I'm limited to the places where I can have them taken through KDHE. It's gotten really bad now with all the lead and copper rules.
So you can't flush your toilet or?
No.
But if you do it first thing in the morning, I feel like it can be terrible.
You're not legit.
No.
Somebody gets home
Yeah.
at 3 o'clock.
But I'm gonna start having this issue even with my monthly samples.
Okay.
Um,
For people?
And those are just, I have a predetermined KDHE sets, but so it's not the whole town, but unfortunately KDHE is really predetermines where I can take these samples from. So, but I'm just having so much issues that, and if we don't get these samples back, then we get fined and we have to do all, it's a mess. So just looking for ways to entice people to help me out.
So looking for incentives for KDG
And
sample.
usually, a discount.
What is our, can we ask Summer what we can do? Can we fine these homeowners if they're not abiding by KDHE's requirements?
I mean, we can talk to her about it. I don't know.
I said, let's try to give an incentive first, and if that doesn't work, then maybe, I hate to jump straight to
Well, I know,
fining.
but it's kind of looking at all different options.
Right.
Of
So it used to be.
try and get compliance, because why does the city get fined when we've got residents that aren't? And what's their penalty if they say, oh yeah, you got lead
There's
in your water?
nothing. So what happens is I get run through the rigmarole because I'm trying to get these samples, and the more I try, the less time that I have on my time limit that I have to have these done and sent back to their labs.
So is it that the residents are afraid that, oh, I'm gonna get lead in my water, now they're gonna make me replace all my water lines?
So
Or what is the reason that people are?
Yeah, there's all kinds, that could be an issue. There's some people who
Is it just a
think
matter of
that,
educating? I mean, is
I
that a
tried to talk to
possibility?
them and tell them, that, there's been a few that said KDHE has no reason to be testing the water in my house. But we're mandated, we don't have a choice, so the water has to be tested from somewhere, and then we're also in that, within the last 2 years with all this new lead and copper stuff, we are mandated, so everything's tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, all tier 1 sites, which are usually homes that still have copper with lead solder or have galvanized. As far as I'm aware, there's no lead in anything city-wise. There may be in the private side. All these pamphlets that I send out every year that tell you, so most of the time, if you don't fill those out, your site's a tier 1, so your site's a mandatory test site. But if I need to change that test site, KDHE only allows me 12 test sites, and so I went through all 2 of my backups. And so 4 people wouldn't return them, so I had to go ask KDHE for all new sites and have that pre-approved. So all that's taking time away from getting these samples done. So I'm trying to come up with a situation where maybe entice them, hey, it's $10. $10 is off my water bill. That's about all we can do.
Yeah, I mean, we can figure out something.
But it's gotten worse, so it's gotten real bad. So trying to get these things done, and we don't have a choice. And if we don't follow through, KDHE's finds us and there's all kinds of stipulations on us.
and you're not guaranteed they're not taking a bottle of water for it.
We don't know. They're signing off that they did.
Yeah.
So there's. Like I said, if we don't do it, we're fined. KDHE, this could implement any grants we want to apply for through KDHE if we're being fined for stuff like this. And just looking for things to help me out because the regulations have gotten really strict on how things are done. Just to keep in mind.
Yep.
Have you met what you need now, or you're still behind?
So, no, I had to get the samples out yesterday, and I'm still missing, I have 14 days from the time they're taken. The homeowner takes them until they have to be back to the lab. So yesterday was my limit for the samples that I got back from the homeowners. I had to get them in the mail yesterday. So I have one homeowner who refuses to won't answer responses, and so Monday morning I'll have to reapply for a new site and get that sent off. But I still have till the end of September, so.
Okay. Well, do you need a decision now to
No,
help with
no.
I think just
will it
future-wise.
help, though?
Just future-wise. It may not, but
Well, do we need I'll make a motion to help Bob out to get somebody to cooperate and give him water sample he needs to get them a discount off their water bill, if they will do that for the next month or whatever.
There's just one.
right now I just have one, so.
So we're only looking at,
Yeah, so looking at one, see if that will entice them to go, okay. So,
One second.
Oh, that's me. It's been moved and seconded that we give the $10 off incentive of the water bill for KDHE water sample on whatever site Bob gets reassigned, for next month, I guess, right?
yeah, whatever will be the following month, when the bill.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? All right, hopefully that helps. Anything else for utilities then? Okay, planning and zoning?
Planning and zoning, I think we have, explained a lot.
So this is a tricky one. Yes,
Is
we
it
have a
boundary
boundary line
adjustment?
adjustment. So the new house up here, right behind the west entrance property, the land residence. So there's all kinds of, so technically there's no building permit for that house right now. When they started doing the foundation, there's only, so it's a long story. Anyways, most of the delay is on the surveyor. They knew they had to do this. It's pre-built home. The pre-built home had to be, was built and needed to be delivered. They had to start. The only problem is when they put the house on the lot, he owns 6 lots. He put them across 2 lots. And by ordinance, he cannot do that. So we needed to delete that property boundary and make that one lot.
Oh,
So it's
okay.
taken over a year for the surveyor to finally get the information the city needs. So in the meantime, I had to make decisions knowing that things will eventually be done right. So the house was delivered on site, the foundation needed to be done, all this, so there's no building permit. They're gonna end up having to pay penalties. But so right now, we finally, this week got the
You're on that corner.
information from the
That's where you're
surveyor
coming into
to
town,
proceed to
that
planning
triangle.
for them
Okay.
Where the wrong.
So it's just
Approve
to
some-
delete,
Just to delete a property line.
okay, and make it one,
Make one lot. yes.
okay.
So,
Yeah.
and unfortunately, there's not a lot of choice in the decision because things have been done, but
Okay.
it was the right decisions to make at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So they don't have a lot of, it's a technicality that they have to go for them.
Yep. So that's what we got for planning and zoning.
Got it.
Coming
Sounds wonderful.
Probably next week.
Next week.
Yeah. It's not anything needs to be publicized or whatever.
Okay.
It's just they'll make the decisions, stops with them, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not that they have much of a decision on this one, but it's very out of the ordinary.
Yeah. We knew it was coming
Yeah.
at some point.
Gotcha.
Depending on the surveyor.
All right, pool, cemetery, parks, Jesse, you wanna? It's been busy.
If we have requests just for random things, like in regards to the pool, does that need to be an agenda item? Or can we talk about that?
Yeah.
Like,
We're on pools right
the ground by the concession stand is super hot, and kids walk over there in bare feet, and then it gets too hot for their feet, so like a mat for the concession or an awning, because also the counter, like my kids put their hands up there, and then it's really hot on the counter there, so either an awning to provide shade there and then a mat so that you can walk over there without having to get your shoes on and stuff like that. That was a couple things that, from our experience at the pool, we loved going to the pool. The pool was so good too. So, those couple things. And I don't know if there's any way to prevent this, but I did notice that the edge of the slide is very close, and so water comes
That's
underneath.
on
That is a
the,
punch, they have the part, it's a punch
Okay.
list item.
Okay.
The part, they have the part, so.
Great.
yes, there is the punch list still. I know there's a chunk missing out of the cement.
The list is very long.
Yeah.
Is it okay?
It is. Other than the major stuff, I know it's been a big learning curve for us, for the guards, for everyone. So I think somewhere along the way towards the end of the season, we will have a sit down, probably Bob, Jesse and I, whoever might come back next year, so we can all be on the same page and what is expected of everybody, because they're young.
Yes.
They're still learning on things, and so sometimes it takes multiple times telling them things. So I think it's just,
Yeah. Those are just some of the like practical, easy things to do, I think that could, and I don't know if there's heat resistant mats or anything like that, you put it on slip. Because if that sun beats down, you're right on that side.
Or even if we had like an awning.
Yeah.
Something.
I mean, I know there's,
Something on the
someone else said more shade too, which I think that's
We
just
knew that we were gonna need to do that.
an add-on
Eventually.
eventually for sure.
I don't see why you can't come on front, that side of the building and put an awning clear across that thing.
Yeah, yeah, I just like, that counter is
I mean, some kind of
so
shade,
hot.
not maybe an awning, the shade.
Yeah, I
Whatever.
didn't even know the counter's not hot because I haven't,
Yeah.
been on that side.
If you could talk about that, Bob, since it was said it was going to be brought back to the council.
Sorry, did not.
So, yeah,
The amendment for Carruthers.
so.
Not the shade.
Oh, the amendment.
So in summer, Wade and I, most of the summer, went back and approached Crothers with the agreement that we would like. And so they agreed to it. There was no issues. But he made a decision in 10 minutes, so.
Oh, wow.
For the payment,
For
the
for the
3%.
for the 3-year warranty.
Oh, good, you're working. Okay.
Yes, and that will not start until the last punch in.
Oh.
Is done.
They're not doing
Yeah,
the,
repayment, yeah. Okay.
yes, it'll be we got this instead of that.
Yeah, we decided or the council decided at the last meeting that this may be a better than the payment. So we're getting a 3-year warranty, whereas we only got one. And that warranty will not start till the very last punch item list is done.
What does the warranty cover?
That covers everything, workmanship, yes.
Yeah, summer
Okay,
put
plumbing and electric.
Yeah, it covers everything, workmanship, everything, so it's.
That might pay
It's a
off,
very,
you know?
it's a very, much more warranty than what the original.
Yes.
or what it would have been, so.
Great.
So so that was taken care of. So, and Wade signed off on it since they agreed to it, and it met all the terms that the council wanted, so.
Great.
Cool.
Do we approve anything on that? Because it's already been
That's
approved.
not-
It's been signed, hasn't it?
Well, I thought,
I mean,
we approved it last time to go do
Yeah,
this, right?
basically,
So,
nothing above and beyond what you guys approved in the
Okay.
agreement was, so I would say no, because in
That's
summer.
kinda where I was. I just wanted to make
Summer, we approached this with summer because the agreement did get signed, but that really needed to happen to get that, because
Yeah.
there was also a very large payment that we hadn't quite made, because we wanted to see how things go, not legally that we could hang on to it, but we wanted to make sure. So, yeah, so. Summer says,
Yeah.
as long as you guys find it, it covers us.
okay, just making sure.
I know, I'd seen that conversation, so.
So have we made that in more payment?
Yes, there was a $100,000 payment, and then there will be no more payments until the last punch item list is done,
Okay,
which I
I
think
thought
is
that's
maybe
where we were at, but I wasn't sure.
40, 50,000.
Yeah, that sounds about right, like 44 or something. Or
So
something like that.
they will be here the week after the 30th to start working on everything. There was a talk of doing a change order because there is no lighting on the front of the building. so at night.
Mhm.
That is
And so there may be a small change order to add lighting. The same lights that are, I don't know why the engineer left the lighting off the
Yeah.
front. But just adding two
No, I
lights,
agree with that.
two lights, so it's pretty dark out front. And there is a light there, but it's only, I thought it was, it's only emergency use, so the power goes out. So that's what that little tiny light is above the door is, emergency light. So there may, I would say probably, if you guys wanted to motion no more than $2,000, which I think that's high, for a change order. I guess actually technically you gave me approval to make change
Yeah, I was
orders.
gonna say.
So I anticipate no more than that, but I would say that's something needed for security.
Agreed.
Agreed.
Like I said, I don't know why that was not on the original engineering plan. Lights all around the building except the front, I mean, and I've been complaining about that since day one, so.
Right.
So that's the only other change order that I anticipate.
I guess also the pool, we're flying close with chlorine, so we're gonna do great.
I had a question on pool employees. How many do we have on the clock at one time?
3 to 4, depending on the day. There is one that does not guard. She works just in because she didn't get certified.
Okay,
She wasn't
well,
here from that.
I went to pick up my granddaughter the other day. There was one guard out there and 4 of them sitting inside in chairs. So I didn't know how many we had to pay to run a concession stand.
Usually there's 4 on staff. I don't know if there's
There should
5.
only be 3 to 4.
Maybe one was just visiting, I don't know.
Could be.
I'm thinking, can we have 2 guards out there
You should.
at one time? Because
It
if we
depending on
got
the
problems
numbers.
with kids tearing up the skimmers, maybe 2 sets of
How's
eyes would
that
be
happening
better
on those skimmers?
out there to kind of watch for that.
So.
Are they swimming up to the edge of the
I
pool
mean,
at
I haven't
hand?
had time to go back and watch videos, so I talked to this, so I wanted to first find out, is this a problem with the skimmers?
Right.
So I talked to Fritz, and they just built this pool in Cheney, they just opened this year, same skimmers. They put those skimmers in every other pool. He called Cheney, they haven't had any issues, they don't. So what is happening is they have to be reaching in.
That's what I was gonna say, they're sticking arms in there.
So there's a spring-loaded pin that locks those into the skimmers so that they flap open and they flap to allow, to keep what it catches, to keep it stayed in there, until it can be picked up out of the baskets. Well, what's happening is they're getting, that it's plastic, so it's being pulled on and it don't take too much when it's being pulled out. So I replaced 4 in 3 weeks and I
Yeah, you
ordered
said they're
4.
40 bucks a piece.
They're 40
Yeah.
plus because I didn't figure in the shipping.
And that's what I was saying, maybe 2 sets of eyes are better to keep an eye on kids sticking their hands in them.
So I
And
found,
that's-
I just fixed one yesterday, it was broke. And
So it can't be all the kids doing it.
I don't think, I've never seen a kid do
It has to be
That doesn't
somebody
mean-
hanging along the edge of the pool.
yeah, it has to be, it has to be quick.
Yeah.
So like the one I
That's
found
true.
broke today, it was pulled, they're not designed to be pulled out.
Right.
They can only go in and they float with the water levels to
Yeah.
accept the debris. This one was pulled out, but still stuck in, but they broke the mechanism that holds it. Once you break the mechanism that holds that spring-loaded pin, there's no fixing it. I ordered 4 more today. I keep some of that,
Right.
some of that stuff on,
Well,
honestly.
maybe tell the guards to keep an eye
Yeah, we
out
have.
when kids are around the
We'll
skimmers
just-
and find out what kids
ban them.
kids are there and, yeah, might have to ban them, Keep away from the skimmers.
So, back to the chlorine, so we only have the capabilities of storing 225 gallons of chlorine, liquid chlorine. So, and this is a big learning curve because we used to do tablets. Tablets are easy, I kept them in buckets.
Yeah.
I could control, and I could go get them locally and control them. With liquid chlorine, it has to be shipped in on semi, and pump it into the tank. So I can only store it, and the only reason that I had 50 gallons extra was because Carruthers ordered 50 gallons because they thought they were going to have to start the pool themselves. And so they gave it to me. And so that 225 gallons got us 2 weeks before we opened up until Sunday. And so then I switched the barrel out to 50 gallons. I didn't think too much about it. 50 gallons should get us, we're only open. But it's been hot, it's been super busy. And
So now we'll only be open on weekends, right?
we'll only be on weekends, and so the problem was my chemical delivery only comes the 1st and 3rd week of the month.
Yeah.
So
So we were looking
there
at
was, when I contacted them to order this morning, when I seen that, they're like, well, we won't be back till the first of the month.
How does that store? You can't store that for the winter?
In the winter I have to dump it.
Okay.
Yeah, Crothers told me do not keep it, it'll dilute itself.
Like 6 more days, 6 more days.
So
It's liquid.
I was able to call back the company, and they were misjudged because the first was on a Saturday. The next week is the third week, so I have another 100 gallons. I have another 100 gallons coming on Tuesday. The problem is I only have probably 25 gallons left. So I can supplement that a little bit by shocking the pool.
Can we turn chlorine down? I feel like it's
There's
high.
no adjustment. It's been set by the
Okay.
engineer, so we don't have no control over that. They set it to what the pool has to be.
I just feel like it's been,
So
when we
it's-
test it, it's
It's
high.
been 5, and
Okay.
5 is typically what we would normally
Oh.
keep it at the old pool. We would be in 3 to
Okay.
5 range. But that I don't have no control over.
I wasn't sure. I didn't think that
Yeah,
was
they
you,
told
but
me
then.
that was preset in the computer box. So it's iffy on how far I can get this weekend. And I know there's a big party on Sunday, and that's the problem is I might have enough, may not have enough to get me by until Sunday.
Do we know what some of the other pools around here have? Do any of them have?
If they're running bleach, the problem is if they're hauling bleach, they're keeping it in the same type containers we
Container.
have. Yeah, and we can't haul 50-gallon drums. We don't have hazmat, so I can't haul 50-gallon
okay.
drums. So most public pools are liquid chlorine, and they're in the same boat. If they had extra, we would have no way to transport it. And they probably dump theirs by now. Okay.
So we are seeing what we can do. Playing it by ear as best as we
See
can.
if there's any, is there any other supplier that could get another 50 gallon?
No, not that fast. No.
Not that fast.
No.
We're only talking a couple weekends, aren't we?
I think the biggest issue is
I have
getting
chlor-
through
I will
this
have-
weekend.
I
You will have
this-
it Tuesday, but it's this
Yeah,
weekend.
yeah, no.
Granted, it's not
Having
supposed to be
25 gallons left.
as hot,
Hmm.
but
Yeah,
Like I said, right now I'm supplementing it by shocking it,
okay.
but I can only do that so much.
So what is shocking? I see that in your report. What does shocking mean?
What it sounds like.
I'm adding granular chlorine dose to it. So I'm adding a
It's a
higher
big dose, and you can't swim in it
Yeah.
for.
I'm adding a higher dose to
Okay.
get rid of the contaminants and kind of get the pool started
Okay.
again.
Okay, and you're doing that probably in the evening?
I do it when I close.
When you close up, you do it in the evening? So you have enough of that granular?
Oh, I can get that all day long. That's not a problem.
Okay.
I can go ahead and get that all day long. It's like, this is why I was not a proponent of the liquid bleach, because I have less control over it.
Mhm.
With the tablets, I can go to Manhattan and I can buy as much as I want, and I can store it for years.
we need to just get those floaters.
Yeah.
And put them in the pool
Yeah.
and just float them on the
But
days
if we
we're
had,
not
if we had,
open.
I didn't realize we had 70-some people yesterday.
It was a
We
lot.
had doses, and that's another part of the communication is with the guards, is making sure people are taking showers. Because it's not just the load, it's the heat, but it's showers, vacuuming the pool. That's why I'm such a big proponent of vacuuming the pool.
Yeah.
So we had some issues with the robotic vacuum, so it had to be
They
put
told me
away.
that.
It had to be put away.
Oh.
Because we were being more dependent on that vacuum, and
Oh.
those are more internal issues we can't talk about, but it had to be put away because, yeah, so there's issues there, so there's, everything adds up to it.
Learning curves and a whole bunch of
Very
stuff,
much
and
so.
training curves.
Very
and
much
stuff.
so. And that's on us too. Like,
Yeah.
we are just as much to blame, so. We'll get it. We got this. We got this.
Cool.
I don't think there's anything else like parks or cemetery. I haven't heard anything.
No, I haven't had any issues cemetery-wise in a while, so. School started, so that's usually when they stop. But we've been lucky, we don't have the issues like we had in the past, so.
Flint Hills Regional.
Nothing really to report. The last meeting, and I had to cut out early to go to a funeral service, but they were just having legislative personnel come in to talk and stuff, so there wasn't really anything new to report. They won't meet this month, but next month.
Okay. Mayor's not here. Either the attorney or anything attorney that you can think of either one of you.
Yeah, for next Monday.
Okay.
2 pieces.
Yeah, as of tonight, the the one that we've been talking back and forth on, they did not get done what they said they would get done. They were actually still cleaning things up. When I showed up at noon, they had still were picking stuff up, so they weren't nowhere along like they had told the property owner. The other one is a vehicle, no, non-tag vehicle, is actually an RV. And that vehicle got pushed onto the neighbor's property. So it went back to Summer to decide how she wants to handle that, or if we gotta start the process over again. I'm quite surprised that it got pushed onto a neighbor's property because I didn't think there was, I don't know what's going on there, so. But those two possibly could get stopped before we have to move on.
Any need for an exec session? Not, no more.
Oh, motion to adjourn?
Yeah.
There you go.
She's sleeping.
Sorry.
over there. Long meeting.
All right, it's been moved and seconded to adjourn the meeting. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? All right.